Welcome back. If this is your first time here on this channel and you experience any kind of issues with playback, please check out the link in the description to my mirrored account on BitChute.com, redpill_McKenzie. Now, today's video, we're picking up where we left off. We're now in week 3 of September 2018 with the high-level resignations. Talking CEOs, CFOs, COOs, heads of state, police chiefs, you name it. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's a new week until basically we catch up. But real quick, where do I get the names from? I get them from a site called resignation.info, maintained by Resignation Anon. And despite the meme I just showed you, there are actually a lot of good people on this list, okay? But even still, not everyone on this list is a bad person, even though there have been quite a few of those. But even still, not everyone's going to be indicted. So go ahead, check out the link to the indictments if it's something you haven't seen already. There's also a little feature where you can report resignations. Anything not on the list since September 2017, go ahead, put the link to that news article, submit it. Once it's been verified, it'll be added to the list. And get this, once if it's new and it's notable, chances are it's going to be seen on the next resignation show. Every other Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. German time, with the next show being this weekend. That's right, March 17th, hosted on a channel called In Real Life News. I'm going to put the link to their channel in the description so that way you don't miss the next resignation show. Or if you're already on the resignation site, go ahead, check out this. Boom, link up with In Real Life News or catch up with the resignation show if you just happen to miss it. But try to catch it live. Anyway, now that that's been covered, let's get to the names. We have the senior research scientist to Google in the US, Jack Polson, resigned over China censored search engine plans. We have the Minister of Defense and National Security to the Lesotho government, Sintje Labona. We have a member to NIDA Tunes in Tunisia, Youssef Chahed. He was suspended and he's also the prime minister. It happened after a row with the president's son. We have the CEO, the CFO, and the general counsel and president, three different people, to Link Motion Inc. in China. Pause if you need to read the names. We have a member to parliament to the New South Wales Liberal Party in Australia, and Sudmalis. Her term ended. She will not recontest her seat of Gilmore, which was held by a razor-thin margin. We have a member to the Republican Party in Ohio, Leslie Wexner. He's the wealthiest Republican supporter in Ohio that quit the party. We have these two board members to the Scientific Games Corporation in the U.S. Viet is still a board member of several other companies, including the Hertz Corporation, Dave & Buster's, and 21st Century Fox. We have a director to LPL Financial Holdings, Inc. in the U.S. That's another one from Viet. We have the president to the party Gerakan Rakyat in Malaysia, Ma Sew Kyung. Ma said that the decision was due to the party's poor performance during the 14th general election, GE14, on May 9th. That year, we have the CEO and president to the Caregivers Inc. in the U.S., Donald Guillemette. He hanged himself, was included in a subpoena filed September 6th, 10 days prior, that sought financial records from that nonprofit. We have the CEO to CLS Group in the U.S., David Puth. We have the CEO and president to Tyson Foods in the U.S., Tom Hayes, was resigned and was replaced by Noel White. We have the CEO and president to Bowfield Resources in Canada, Ronald Stewart. We have the CEO to BioNexus in the U.S., Wayne Carter. We have the CIO to Cambridge University in the UK, Nick Kavala, resigned and went off to be CEO at Talisman Global Asset Management. We have the CEO to Shop Apotheek Europe NV in the Netherlands, Michael Koller, resigned and was replaced by Stefan Feltens. We have the chief to Sunrise Beach Fire Protection District in Missouri, Dennis Riley. We have the deputy prosecutor to Honolulu Court in the U.S., Catherine Kealoha, resigned nearly a year after a grand jury indicted the couple on corruption-related charges. Her husband is former police chief Louis Kealoha. He agreed to retire in January 2017 amid a federal investigation. We have a host to CBS The Talk in the U.S., Julie Chen. She resigned since her husband, Leslie Moonves, was fired from his role as CBS CEO. We have the CEO to SafeNet Consulting Inc. in the U.S., Brad Zapecki. We have the co-CEO to WorldPlay Inc. in the U.S. We have a director to Idera Pharmaceuticals Inc. in the U.S. We have the CEO and chairman to First County Bank in the U.S., Reno Gialongo Jr., retired, was replaced by Robert Granata. We have the CEO to Petra Diamonds in South Africa, Johan de Pinar. We have the CEO and chairman to Sony ATV Music Publishing in the U.S., Martin Bandier. We have the CEO to FGV Holdings BHD in Malaysia. We have an interim chief to Colbert Police Department in Oklahoma, Bart Alsbrook. It was exposed that Alsbrook had a deep and significant history, not only as a member, but as a one-time state coordinator of a skinhead group with neo-Nazi ties. He went off to work as a reserve officer to the Akil Police Department. We have the CEO and director to Arsenal London in the UK, Ivan Gazidis, resigned and went off to be CEO at AC Milan. We have the interior minister to French government in France, of course, Gerard Collomb. He was a close ally to French President Macron, and Macron rejected the resignation. 24 hours later, he was forced to accept. We have the president to that company in Germany. And that's the name of the president. He was fired into a better position, actually. He became a special advisor to the German Interior Ministry. We have the Inspector General to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA in the U.S., Arthur Elkins, resigned and said he'll take a job outside the federal government. We have Beijing Bureau Chief to LA Times in the U.S., Jonathan Kamen, resigned just 3 months after he was suspended following a sexual misconduct accusation by another journalist. The CEO to Cheyenne Animal Shelter in Wyoming, Bob Fett, was suspended for 60 days without pay starting that Friday following his decision to have a young dog pepper sprayed during a, quote, trainee exercise, end quote, for employees earlier that month. With the CFO to Jones Lang LaSalle in the U.S., Christy Kelly. With the CEO to CDW in the U.S., Tom Richards, resigned and went off to be chairman at CDW and was replaced by Christine A. Leahy. So still working there, but just moving to chairman. We have the CEO to Cousins Properties in the U.S., Larry Gellerstedt, resigned and went off to be chairman at still at Cousins Properties. He just went to the same kind of move right here, but was replaced by Colin Connolly. We have the CEO to Personal Group Holdings PLC in the UK, Mark Scanlon. Sorry, they just don't have so many of those I don't have too many of them where they stay in the same company and it's just a move. We have the CEO to Clariant in Switzerland, Harry-Lef Klopman, resigned and went off to be chairman at Saudi Basic Industries Corporation and was replaced by Ernesto Aquilio. We have the CEO to Saudi Basic Industries Corporation in Saudi Arabia, Rudolph Ware-Lee, was replaced by Harry-Lef Kopman. We have the chief to Janesville Fire Department in Wisconsin, Randy Banker, retired. We have the interim CEO and president to True Nature Holding Inc. in the U.S., Jay Morton. We have the sheriff to Crawford County Sheriff's Office in Michigan, Kirk A. Wakefield, retired. We have the CEO to Danske Bank in Denmark, Thomas Borgen, resigned due to a scandal related to a past money laundering scheme through its Estonian branch. With the CEO to Orange Bank in France, Andre Coinet. With the CEO to AutoNation in the U.S., Mike Jackson, resigned but is continuing as chairman until at least 2021. With the CEO to British American Tobacco in the UK, Nicandro Durante, resigned and was replaced by Jack Bowles. With the CEO to Page Cloud in Canada, Craig Fitzpatrick, resigned but will remain as chairman and was replaced by Greg Evans. With the CEO to Bonobos in the U.S., Andy Dunn, He's also the Senior VP of Digital Consumer Brands at Walmart. We have the Chairman to Royal Mail PLC in the UK, Peter Long. We have a board member to the National Rifle Association in the US, Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck abruptly stepped down from the NRA board after being there for about 13 years. We have the CEO to 8Fit in Germany, Pablo Vilabra, was asked to resign because of performance issues and was replaced by Aina Abiodun. We have the head of corporate and investment banking to the Bank of America in the U.S., Christian Meissner. We have the CEO to Colonial First State Global Asset Management in Australia, Mark Lasberger. With the CEO to Z Entertainment Enterprises in India, Neeraj Dhingra. We have the CEO to Text 100 in the U.S., Admar Hines, resigned and was replaced by Helena Moss. We have the president to NASCAR in the U.S., Brent Dewar, resigned and was replaced by Steve Phelps. We have the CEO to Starstone Insurance in the U.K., Dimian Smith. We have the CEO to Jaunt Inc. in the U.S., George Gilakov, resigned and was replaced by Mitzi Rio. We have the CEO to Countess of Chester Hospital Foundation Trust in the UK, Tony Chambers, resigned amid an ongoing investigation by the police into 8 deaths into his neonatal unit. He was replaced by Susan Gilby. We have the president to LVMH, Moet Hennessy, and Louis Vuitton SE in France, Jean-Claude Biver. We have a director to OV2 Investment One Inc. in Canada, Eric Apps. We have the president to Sunrise Beach Fire Protection District in Missouri, Brian Lehman. Resigned just 4 days after their fire chief, Dennis Riley, announced he would officially resign from the department later in October. We have the CEO to Ubeam in the U.S., Meredith Perry. Resigned amid a business-to-business pivot, went off to be board member and senior advisor at Ubeam. So just to move over. We have a member to parliament to the South African Parliament in South Africa, Gavin Davis, resigned and went off to be CEO at Resolve Communications. We have an ambassador to India to the Afghanistan government, Shada Abdali, resigned because of a visit of the country's president, Ashraf Ghani, to New Delhi. We have a pastor to Elmbrook Church in Wisconsin, Jason Webb, resigned due to multiple marital infidelities and a serious addiction. We have the chief to the Prison and Probation Service in the UK, Michael Spur, resigned following recent strike action and a rise in prison violence. We have the CEO and president to Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee in the US, Vincent Lyles. We have a president to Vietnam, Tran Dai Quang. He died at the age of 61 due to a serious illness. We have these 2 bishops from the Roman Catholic Church in Chile, Carlos Eduardo Pellegrin Barrera and Christian Enrique Contreras Molina. They both resigned following the abuse scandal. We have the CEO to Michael Hill Jeweler in Australia, Phil Taylor, resigned and was replaced by Daniel Bracken. We have the VP to Tesla Inc. in the US, Liam O'Connor. We have the CEO to Yes Bank in India, Reina Kapoor. He was fired. It was India's central bank had ordered him to step down in January 2019. Yes Bank is one of the biggest banks in India. We have the CEO to Harness Racing New Zealand, Edward Rennell, resigned earlier that month. Several racing identities appeared in court in Christchurch in Palmerston North after a 17-month investigation known as Operation Inca and raids on harness racing properties occurred. We have the CEO to Telecommunications PLC in Italy, Yossi Fate. We have the finance director to Anglo-American Platinum in the UK, Ian Botha. We have the CEO to Clicks in South Africa, David Neal, resigned and was replaced by Vikesh Ramsunder. We have the chief of police to Wyandotte Nation in Oklahoma, Kid Murphy. We have legislative aide to Ohio House in the U.S., Dominic Peretti, resigned after sexual harassment complaints. He also, as a member to Columbus Board of Education, resigned due to the same reason. We have a director to BTU Metals Corp in Canada, Richard O'Shea. We have the chairman to Kaizen Discovery Inc. in Canada, David Huberman. We have the VP to Abraxas Petroleum Corporation in U.S., William Wallace. Resigned and was replaced by Kenneth Johnson. We have director to Mimex Corp in the U.S., Parker H. Petit. Resigned amidst ongoing investigations into financial dealings. We have the chairman to Ladenburg Thalmann Financial Services Inc. in the U.S., Philip Frost. He was charged that month with fraud. We have the president to Domo Inc. in the U.S., Christopher Harrington. We have the CFO to Rosinant Inc. in the U.S., Michael Seifert. We have the CEO and director to Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services Limited in India, Ramesh C. Bawa. We have the CFO, chairman, treasurer, secretary, and director, all one person, to U.S. Rare Earth Minerals Inc. But we also have the CEO, president, and director, again, all one person, but a different person, to U.S. Rare Earth Metals. And we have these two directors to the same company. Pause if you need to read them, because that's it. Don't forget, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's a new week until basically we catch up. And don't forget to link up with In Real Life News, because this Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. German time, we have the Resignations show. Don't miss that one. And don't forget, as always, if you like my content, please share, because sharing's caring. And if you haven't already yet, go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. So that way YouTube has no kind of choice in what kind of content of mine that you get to see. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. God bless you all. This is Red Pill McKenzie.